behind me is Wheeler Peak at Great Basin National Park in Nevada. I'm hiking the Bristlecone and Glacier Trail here at Great Basin National Park. There's actually a little snow on the ground. Trail signs here are actually way up the tree. That orange thing is about 8 feet high. That's to account for there being a lot of snow here in the winter. We're up above 10,000 feet here. Luckily, this is one of those hikes where you get to drive up most of the elevation. We drove up a winding road from about 7,000 feet to over 10,000 feet, and then we get to hike from here. This forest has spruce trees, limber pines. There were some aspens as we drove up slightly lower elevation. There's definitely some patchy snow on the ground. Look at this tree. It's all twisted and rotted and dead, and inside you can see one of the branches coming out into the trunk. So I think that's where there used to be a branch coming out on this side. Snow is intensifying. This is a limber pine, and it's growing right next to a spruce with the blue tips that grew this year. Bristlecone pines grow incredibly dense wood that can remain for thousands of years even after the tree dies. A bristlecone pine often has exposed roots or parts of its trunk where the bark has died and fallen off. That doesn't mean the tree is dead. This living strip of bark from the roots all the way to the top of the tree where the needles are still green indicates that this tree has been living a long time and probably will keep living for a long time from now. Here's the bristlecone cone itself. These trees make two different kinds of cones, male and female. You can see one of the bigger cones up there. This tree is only mostly dead. One of the branches is still alive. Incredible that it survives with this strip of bark about 6 inches wide. It has all these needles. Side-by-side comparison of the limber pine on the left and the bristlecone on the right. This tree is 3,200 years old, and yes, it is still growing. The one branch on the right has all of the live needles. Just hanging around in some rocks with a great view of the peak. It's a very, very nice landscape with all the bristlecone pines. There's an active glacier near here as well. I believe this is called a glacial moraine. A lot of these rocks were knocked down by moving ice. When we started this trip, we were hiking at Mount Lassen in last winter's snow, and here again near the end of our trip, we're hiking in this year's snow. There's more bristlecone pines, a lot more, growing on this slope right below the mountain peak. Great spot for enjoying this beautiful landscape. snow and ice below the peak form a glacier. And then below it, this is called a rock glacier, where the changing seasons, freezing, thawing, water coming through, causes the rocks to gradually move downhill. This beautiful alpine lake is filling up again. The runoff from the mountains is coming in on the other side of the lake, and I can hear it rippling. Behind me is the cirque formed by the glacier. There's some fresh snow and likely some older snow on the mountain up there. The grass is definitely vibing in this lake. I don't think it minds terribly being flooded. Some of the grass is underwater in this lake. That probably means that this got flooded a little later in the year. Just saw an interesting spider next to the lake. Spider video coming up. Consider this your warning. Here's the stream leading into the lake. Second alpine lake. This one is bigger. Bristlecone pines can grow quite large if they have a lot of water and relatively easier living conditions. This does not necessarily mean they are older. The oldest bristlecone pines, the ones that are thousands of years old, tend to be small and twisted, not large at all. This is an impressive old aspen with a couple of the trunks fallen down. Thanks so much for joining me on a gorgeous hike in Great Basin National Park. We saw ancient bristlecone pines in addition to other trees like limber pines, spruces, and aspens. Got to see a great view of the mountain peak, a glacier, a rock glacier, and 2 alpine lakes. Really nice day to be out here. For more great hikes, please like and subscribe. Consider supporting my work with a donation to my Venmo at RayCats. Thanks so much for joining me here. Until next time.